A man is pretending to protect you, but his real mission is. A man is pretending to protect you, but his real mission is betrayal. This is no ordinary warning. It is a divine alarm echoing from the highest realms, urgent, uncompromising, impossible to ignore. You feel it deep in your soul, that nagging sense that something is off, that the one who stands closest to shield you is, in truth, shadowed by a hidden agenda. God says, this message did not come by chance. It arrived through celestial timing, carried on the wings of angels who have watched over your nights of tears and silent prayers. The man you believed was your defender has been playing a double game. He appeared as a fortress in your storms, a harbor in your chaos, but beneath the surface, his allegiance lies elsewhere. Every smile he gave was a mask, every word of comfort, a carefully planted seed of doubt. He moves in the guise of protection, but his footsteps trace a path of manipulation, intended not to guard your spirit but to weaken it from within. Archangel Michael says, the enemy does not always come in obvious forms. Sometimes, it is the one who promises safety but brings chains. The one who offers guidance but delivers shadows. The one who wears the cloak of love but carries the dagger of deceit. This is a spiritual battle disguised as human interaction. The man you trusted to protect you is, in reality, a thief of your peace, a spy in the house of your heart. He watches your every move, reporting to forces that seek to halt your rise, to silence your light. But God says, the veil is lifting. The truth will be revealed. The mask will fall. And what was meant to destroy you will only fuel your victory. Prepare yourself. This revelation is the turning point. The moment where false protection unravels, and divine justice takes its throne. You are not alone. Heaven is with you, watching, ready to expose the hidden and to deliver you into a new season of unshakable peace and power. The man you trust most, yes, the one whose voice calms storms in your heart, is not what he seems. Behind the gentle words, behind the armor he wears to appear noble, is a dark assignment cloaked in concern. This is not just betrayal, it is spiritual espionage, and heaven has now intervened. You have felt it, haven't you? That strange unease that rises in your chest when you are alone. It brushes past you in moments when no one is speaking, when the world is quiet but your spirit is screaming. It is not paranoia, it is the sound of your discernment waking up. The man who has stood closest to you, who always seems to show up when you're weak, has been carrying a hidden purpose. His actions are painted with care, his timing always impeccable, but the truth is, his spirit is aligned with something far from God. The angels have watched, silent but alert, as he walked beside you carrying poison in one hand and false comfort in the other. He was sent into your life with a mission to delay, distract, and quietly destroy. But heaven has seen enough. Archangel Michael has sounded the alarm. There is a movement in the atmosphere around you. Your guardians are no longer silent. The spiritual realm has shifted, and the trembling you feel tonight is not anxiety. It is revelation breaking the surface. There is a reason you have felt drained after being around him. There is a reason your goals seemed to fade once he became involved. His presence is not protection, it is a prison dressed in velvet. He pretended to be your shield, but all along, he was the slow leak in your divine progress. God says, I allowed him to come close so you could learn the weight of false light. Now I will show you the brilliance of truth. The whispers in your dreams, the strange coincidences, the back and forth in your emotions, these have not been random. They are divine alarms. You are not going crazy. You are waking up. Heaven is handing you the lantern, because what hides in this man's shadow must now be exposed. Do you remember the time you were at your lowest and he offered help, but something about it felt wrong? That's because it was. His help was an illusion, a performance meant to build your dependence while slowly removing your strength. He feared your freedom, because your liberation would expose his assignment. He has studied your wounds. He knows exactly where to place his comfort. But not out of love. Out of strategy. Every kind word he has spoken has been recorded in the spirit realm. And now, the ink of his deception is bleeding under divine light. Archangel Michael says, the seal over this disguise has now been broken. The darkness hiding in charm and cleverness is being pushed into the open by holy force. You will not be blinded much longer. You must understand, this is not just about one man. This is a spiritual blueprint being dismantled. This is about everyone who has walked into your life with soft words and sharpened intentions. You are entering a season where God is making every false protector visible. God says, I am not exposing to punish you. I am exposing to deliver you. You are not foolish. You are favored. That is why the lies cannot live near you anymore. There is warfare behind your peace. There is thunder behind your smile. And the spiritual realm is no longer allowing proximity without purity. He cannot stay. His charm cannot cover the scent of sabotage. And the angels are surrounding your life now, not in silence, but in armed ranks. They have been watching. Every word he said while pretending to protect you, every secret motive wrapped in sweet language, is now firewood for heaven's justice. You are being removed from the grip of a mission you never agreed to but were pulled into. God is reclaiming your space. Archangel Michael says, step back now. We will finish what you could not see. The man's face may still look kind. His voice may still bring comfort. But his spiritual identity has changed before heaven's courts. He is no longer permitted to walk beside you with false motives. His assignment has been terminated by divine order. And your protection, your real protection, has just begun. The door was always closed when the whispers began. That's why you never saw their lips moving, why no faces came into view, only shadows brushing the edge of your awareness like wind through a torn curtain. You told yourself it was imagination, but your spirit kept flinching. It was not imagination. It was interference. And now, the heavens are pulling the veil off what was never meant to be hidden. This man did not walk alone in his assignment. No, there were voices behind him, voices you know, some in your bloodline, some draped in the robes of friendship. They sat in quiet agreement, nodding in rooms you were never invited into. But your name came up. Again and again. And the sound of it in their mouths wasn't love. It was strategy. It was calculation. What you thought was support was actually surveillance. What looked like advice was manipulation carefully phrased to sound holy. Their tones were soft, but their spirits were hard. And the man you trusted most, he became their mouthpiece. Every suggestion he made, every change of course he nudged you toward, it came from them. And they came from somewhere far darker. Archangel Michael says, these voices were not just human. They were stirred by spiritual jealousy and old covenants of sabotage. But we have broken their circle. There is a circle that gathered, not with candles and rituals, but with envy, disappointment, and control. It was not theatrical, it was quiet. That's why you missed it. That's why it continued. They disguised their intentions in concern. They wrapped manipulation in the language of wisdom. And when you questioned it, they looked at you like you were unstable, for daring to notice what they spent years concealing. God says, I let the curtain stay closed so long because I needed you to grow eyes that see in the dark. Now that you've seen the shadow, I can reveal the source. The man you thought was your protector was reporting your movements like a scout. He watched your strength return, and he panicked. Because strong people don't stay controlled. Strong people ask questions. Strong people don't bow. So they agreed, if your fire couldn't be put out, it would have to be redirected. That's when the suggestions started. The detours. The subtle roadblocks. And the smiles that made you feel guilty for resisting. But now, the whispers are being silenced. There are spiritual flames licking the edge of every room where your name was discussed in dishonor. Conversations held behind shut doors are now echoing across the spirit realm. Every false agreement is unraveling. And you? You are stepping into divine clarity sharper than a blade. Do you remember when you tried to move forward, but something invisible pulled you back? It wasn't just your fear. It was their interference. When your spirit leapt with joy about a new direction, suddenly confusion clouded your mind. That wasn't coincidence. That was a deliberate transmission, sent through someone you trusted, meant to keep you orbiting a plan that didn't come from God. The man smiled while he did it. His words were laced with care, but his soul was carrying wires. He was transmitting discouragement while appearing to uplift. You didn't fall for it because you were weak. You fell for it because you were kind. And they counted on your kindness to keep you blind. But now, heaven has handed you a mirror. And the reflection no longer lies. Archangel Michael says, "You will hear no more whispers." Because the doors they spoke behind are breaking off their hinges. The air is charged. Things are moving. Conversations are ending. Agreements are crumbling. The silence you've felt lately has not been abandonment. It's been preparation. The angels were securing your escape route while the enemy grew overconfident. And now, it's too late for them to undo what heaven is about to reveal. God says, "I am your shield. I am your justice. I am the fire that cannot be imitated. Do not mourn the loss of what is leaving. Do not grieve the exposure of those you once trusted. This is mercy disguised as judgment. This is protection that looks like disruption. You are not losing, you are being lifted out of a storm before it swallows your soul. Heaven never forgot your tears. Every moment you questioned your instincts, every prayer you whispered through clenched teeth, God heard it all. The betrayal they planned will become their undoing. And the voice they used to hold you down will now become the very echo that testifies against them. The whispers behind the door are ending. But your voice? It's just beginning. There are some betrayals that feel more like slow poison than sudden wounds. The man who stood beside you, laughing when you laughed, praying when you prayed, wasn't assigned to kill you quickly. No. His mission was more sinister than that. He came with the intention to erode you from the inside out, to dissolve your strength drop by drop until you forgot who you were in the spirit. But heaven never forgot. He didn't walk into your life by accident. He was placed there. Hand-picked by forces that knew your past, studied your vulnerability, and timed their move with surgical precision. This wasn't just someone who drifted in during a hard time. This was an assassin of potential, dressed in compassion. A counterfeit covering, tailored to your weakest moment. He knew exactly what you needed, and he offered it just slightly wrong. He echoed the right words but with a strange energy. He showed up when others didn't but asked for strange loyalty in return. And slowly, your dreams began to blur. Not because you lost them, but because his presence altered their shape. God says, "They used your ache as an open door. But now I am closing every gateway that did not come from me."